Hi all, today we'll discuss about AMDOCS interview questions 2024 related for Java with a Spring Boot microservices. So these all are the real-time interview questions. What all are the questions they ask related for a Spring Boot? We'll discuss now. The first question is, how do you manage dependency in a Spring Boot project? What all are the ways we will manage the dependency in a Spring Boot project? So this is the answers here for the Spring Boot project, how we will manage this dependency. The next question is, there is a dictionary already implemented. Write a method which takes input a string without a space to print all subset of input string which present in dictionary. So this is the scenario of Java based string program. So examples they given dictionary here. The input is this one and output is this one. So there is a dictionary already implemented. Write a method to take as input a string without a space to print all the subset of the input string which is present in dictionary. So this is already repeated questions here by mistake. So this is the examples here. Input is given, output is given. We need to write a Java program for this. The next question is related for array. Give an array consisting the only a small prime number. Remove all duplicate from the given example. So this is the examples they have given, input array, and this is the output. So after removing the duplicate 2 and 3 from the input array, we will get 2 3 7 5 because 2 3 is a duplicate is there. The second input is 2 2 5 5 7 7. Here 257 will be the output. So after removing 257, we will get 257 because 257 is a duplicate. Now the next question is related for array. So they given an array of an integer. Find the inversion count of the array. Two array implemented, array I and array j, form inversion. If array I is greater than array j and I is less than j, then inversion count for an array. Inversion count indicate how far or closed the array is from being sorted. If the array is sorted, then inversion count should be 0. If array is sorted, the reverse orders, then the inversion count will be maximum. So this is the scenario they given, and here is the examples. So in these examples, we need to given some inputs and outputs. So input is n equal to 5, array they given 2 4 1 3 5, and the output will be 3. So how we will write the program? So this is the explanation also they given here. Explanation 1, explanation 2 and explanation 3. So this is the way while we will get the explanations, and then we will write a Java program for the inversion count of array. Now the next question is, write a Spring Data JPA repository interface for the product entity. So we need to write a Spring Data JPA repository interface for the product entity. So how we will write this? So this is the way, knowledge for the data JPA understanding. So we need to write a public interface product repository and extend the JPA. Here we have a product and then long as ID. Now the next question is, write a query for find all the product with the price greater than 100 using a Spring Data JPA. So how we will write a query where we will find the price greater than 100. So here in a Spring Data JPA we have @query with which we have to use @query and annotations. There we have select p from the product p where p dot price greater than 100. Here we have a list of the product, find expensive product. So these methods will be there, which will, before that we will need to write a query for this. Now the next question is related for again JPA. So write a query to find all the product with the price greater than 100 with this. The same, by mistake I copied here again. So this is the Now the next question is, how would you implement pagination and sorting in a Spring Boot? What all are the ways we have to use the pagination and sorting? So this is the way where we will use Spring Data JPA to sort the pagination, sortings and all, paging queries and all. Now the next question is, how can you enable cross-origin resource sharing course in a Spring Boot? So how we will enable, where to enables, and we have at the rate course cross origin, so when to use and why we are using this. The next question is, how do you handle authentication authorization in a Spring Boot? What all are the technique we will use for this? So this is the answers here, why we are using and how we will use. So we have at the rate secure annotation, at the rate pre-authorized annotations and all we will use them. Now the next question is, how you handle data persistence in Java microservice. So if you handle data persistence, what all are the technique we will use? So we have a entity class at the rate entity, there we have a id at the rate id, we have generated value. The next question is, how can you implement inter-service communication in Java microservice? So inter-service communications will be implemented using REST, message broker, gRPCs and all. So how you will handle that? What all are the technique? So this is the examples where we will handle inter-service communication. Now the next question is, how do you implement same question. The next question is by mistake. So how do you handle the exception handling and logging in Java microservice? So exception handling we will handle through the at the rate controller advice, at the rate exception handler annotations. The next question is, how can you implement circuit breaker and retry in Java microservice for fault tolerance? So for this fault tolerance, we will use a using library like Hystrix, Resilience, Foje or a Spring Cloud's circuit breaker. So this is the technique where we will use that. We will create a circuit breaker factory. There we will handle that. The next question is, what is the role of API gateway in microservice architecture? Why we are using API, how to use and when to use the API gateway, application programming interface. The next question is, in your experience, what all are the key considerations who choosing the communication protocol such as HTTP, gRPC, message queue for the inter-service communication in microservice architecture? So this is a very important question. What all are the key considerations where we will choose the communication protocol such as HTTP, gRPC, messaging queue, which is used for the inter-service communication in microservice based architecture. So the next question is, can you share your experience with this service sir, can you share your experience with this implementation service mesh in microservice architecture? What all are the benefits and all? So what is service mesh? When to use service mesh? What all are the benefits to handle the microservice based architectures and all? So these all are the questions, this AMDOCS related interview questions which they ask in one of the interview. So mostly they covered Spring Boot, then they covered JPA, they covered string, they covered array, and they covered some queries, JPA query, and they covered from pagination sorting, they covered some cross origin, they covered from security, they covered from microservice circuit breakers, logging mechanism, exception handling, and then retry, and then they covered from API gateway communications protocol techniques and all, and then they covered from this microservice related some common interview like service mesh and service intercommunications and all. So these all are the real-time interview questions for the AMDOCS. Yeah, thank you.